Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat, grab a seat. Come on in and hit that light, hit that light. Oh, you're at Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. Grab a seat, prop your feet. Let's sip some tea, sip that tea. Entertainment, news, and spirituality. From the culture to the fun, Auntie sets the tone. Sets the tone. With a laugh and a truth, she holds the throne. She holds the throne, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Come on in now. Auntie Mickey's house. Oh, Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat, yeah, yeah. Come on in and hit that light. Don't forget now. Auntie Mickey's house. She can roast with a smile, drop wisdom too. Break down the headlines, bring it straight to you. Straight to you, baby. Community strong, conversation grown. Grown talk, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Make yourself at home, yeah. Come together, every voice is heard. Every voice. Respect the vibe, let's share the word. Oh, yeah. From the jokes to the prayer, she keeps it real. Keeps it real. Auntie Mickey's house, that's the deal. That's the deal, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. Oh yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. Come on in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat. Come on in and hit the light. Hit the light, hit the light. You're at Auntie Mickey's. Yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. It's Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat. Come on in and hit that light. Hit that light. Oh, you're at Auntie Mickey's. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Auntie's house. Auntie's house. Auntie's house. Grab a seat, drop your feet, let's sip some tea. Sip that tea. Entertainment, news, and spirituality. From the culture to the fun, Auntie sets the tone. With a laugh and a truth, she holds the throne. She holds the throne, yeah. Auntie's house. Oh, Auntie's house. You know you're in a house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat, yeah. Come on in and hit that light. Hit that light. Don't forget. Auntie Mickey's. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah. She can roast with a smile. Drop wisdom too. Wisdom too. Break down the headlines. Bring it straight to you. Straight to you, baby. Community strong. Conversation grown. Grown talk, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Make yourself at home, yeah. Come together, every voice is heard. Every voice. Respect the vibe, let's share the word. Oh yeah. From the jokes to the prayer, she keeps it real. Keeps it real, keeps it real. That's the deal. That's the deal, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. Oh yeah. You know you're in a house. Come on in and grab a seat. get that light, get the light on your way to Auntie Mickey's. Yeah. Auntie Mickey's house, Auntie Mickey's house, Auntie Mickey's house. Oh.
Hello, everyone. They're in YouTube land. What's up? Auntie Mickey should be on her way shortly.
Did y'all hear me?
Now we can.
Oh my God, I've been sitting here talking and forgot to add myself to the stage. That goes to show how long I've been gone.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry, y'all. Let me go backward. Oh shoot. I just gave a whole long introduction about this. Let me welcome everybody to the room. I've been sitting up here just greeting everybody, telling them why I haven't been on for a while. But y'all, I had to take a break from YouTube. But thank you guys for supporting me on the other channel, because I've been trying to, build that one up too. But the topic here, the death of Kyle Bassinga. This is a young man. This is a young man who was 21 years old. He was a student at Georgia State University. And first of all, he came up missing on Valentine's Day of this month. And that was the 14th of February. Come the 18th, someone discovered a young black man hanging from a tree. I'm going to let that sink in for a minute. Let that sink in for a minute, because this ain't our first rodeo. We've talked about this before. And it just always seems that whenever a young black person, or any black person for that matter, down in the South especially, is discovered hanging from a tree, first thing police want to say is, oh, they unalived themselves. You might want to have yes, Barbara, a second college student. And this is in Marietta, Georgia. Marietta used to be a sundown town. Many people may not know what a sundown town is. I suggest you look it up. But a sundown town, for those who don't know, is a town where when you were black, you didn't travel through that town after dark, because you may not make it out. And this young man, a 21-year-old student at Georgia State University, happened to be an individual that loved being out in the in the trails. He loved walking amongst the trails in the park and stuff. Very outdoorsy young man. And he's hanging from a tree right off the trail that he was walking on. Now, the initial reports, exactly, Barbara, it probably still is a sundown town. But according to initial reports, they said that he was tied to a tree. That turned out to be a lie. Well, I won't say a lie. I'll just say a misspoken thing. But rather than me go on and on and on and on about this, I'm going to just share a video. I'm going to let the video speak for me, because I get very emotional and pissed off. So let me go ahead and I want y'all to watch this video. Let me make sure I get the right one. Okay. Okay, give me just a second. We start from the beginning.
I usually don't talk about these types of stories because they put me in a different type of headspace. But seeing that there's only one local news station that I've seen talking about this story, I figured that I needed to use my platform to let folks know in Georgia that they are hanging us here in Georgia.
Now, before I go on any further, this is Tabitha Speaks Politics here on YouTube. Shout out to Tabitha.
This is Kyle Bassinga or Bassinga. He was a student at Georgia State University here in the metro Atlanta area, 21 years old. The beginning of February, his family reported him missing. And the other day, it was reported that a black man was found tied to a tree, dead. Turns out it was Kyle, and he was hung from a tree, not tied to a tree. Cobb County police say that Kyle was found dead in a wooded area in the Fair Oaks Park out in Marietta. Yeah. And if you don't know, Georgians, I believe Marietta was once a sundown town. Detectives are saying that there is surveillance video, and based on that video, they only see Kyle going into the park, into this wooded area.
I find it ironic. I hate to interrupt her, but I find it also ironic that none of this surveillance footage has been revealed to the public. None of it. Now, we're talking about a park. How many cameras are you looking at? This is a whole park. Who's to say that someone else didn't come in a different area? I mean, just to jump to the conclusion that he did this to himself is offensive to me. But I'll let her keep going.
No other individuals were seen going into this part of the park where Kyle was. And based on this, they are investigating this case as a suicide pending the results of an autopsy report. It is also being reported that Kyle's family is confirming that he was found hanging from a tree, not tied to a tree. They are focusing on burying Kyle.
So it was the family that confirmed. It was the family. That's important to note. It was the family that confirmed that he was, in fact, found hanging, not tied. The police didn't come out with that until after the family confirmed it.
They haven't been able to get involved in a lot of the conversation that is taking place out on social media regarding this case. Investigators are not looking into any hate crime possibilities. They aren't looking at this case as possible foul play. It's not being investigated as a homicide. It's solely being investigated as a suicide, pending the autopsy report. So as of right now, everything is on hold pending the autopsy report. I just want to make it clear that Black men do not hang themselves from trees.
Say it again.
I just want to make that very clear. Black men do not hang themselves from trees. They may commit suicide, but they will not do it by hanging themselves from a tree. I haven't seen any of our Black politicians speaking out In regards to this case, I went to the local chapter, Cobb County, the NAACP for Cobb County, the local chapter, to see if they have put out a statement. I have not seen them put out any type of statement.
And you would think, you would think of all people, of all organizations, to be the first to speak out about something like this would be the NAACP. They haven't even talked about it.
Yeah.
That just looks really strange to me. Of all organizations, they didn't even say. Nobody's really talking about this.
No.
There was one radio station in Georgia that was reporting on this. Why? What, you scared? It's crazy.
So yeah, as I head out, I want to remind you that Marietta was once a sundown town, and the police are investigating a Black man being hung from a tree as a suicide. No surveillance. They say they have surveillance video. It has not been released. Witnesses say that they saw him go into this wooded area alone. Us Black people, yeah, we got some questions, because we know that Black men do not hang themselves from trees.
And that's the sad part about it. This information is only really being touched on social media. Legacy media is not really talking about this at all. At all. It's getting out there. It's getting out there from social media, from platforms on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We as a people don't do that. Not by that means.
No, I've never heard of it.
That is one of the most degrading things that was ever done to Black people in history. Why would we then turn around and do that to ourselves? It doesn't happen like that. And for law enforcement to be so quick to jump the gun and say we're investigating this as a self-unaliving, it lets me know that y'all don't give a shit. That's what it tells me. Maybe,
Yeah.
and that's just me. That's just me. I'm only speaking from my own opinion. But it just, Georgia? This is not our first rodeo. We dealt with this last year.
Yeah.
With another Black student who was hung from a tree on campus. And the first thing they said was he unalived himself. And it's bullshit. Excuse my French. It's bullshit. So, a lot of people down there, the residents especially, they don't feel that, they're not convinced. They're not convinced. Let me show this to you. Hold on just a second. Says here, residents say they are not convinced missing Atlanta teen died of unaliving after body found in Cobb County Park. Still days after his body was discovered, some residents continue to believe they are still not convinced. Now, this is a little video that apparently they have on the news. Let me try to play it for you.
Cobb County Police have ruled his death as suicide, but some members of the community tell 11 Alive's Stefanette Haynock that they're still not convinced.
Can you guys hear that? Let
Yeah.
me know if you can hear that, okay? You can hear it? Okay. I can turn it up on my end as well because that sounded kind of low. Matter of fact, I'll start it over.
Cobb County Police have ruled his death as suicide, but some members of the community tell 11 Alive's Stefanette Haynock that they're still not convinced.
4 days after the body of missing 21-year-old Kyle Bassinga was discovered at Fair Oaks Park in Marietta, parkgoers on Sunday still wondering what happened.
Somebody had to see something, somebody had to hear something, and everything and everybody is just quiet about it. We can say anything is possible, but do I believe throughout the history of this country that young black man did that to himself? I'm going to say no.
On Tuesday, the New Order National Human Rights Organization will host a vigil at the park at 11 a.m. to honor the life of Bassinga.
I have to say something because this is my backyard. I can't be an activist and something just took place in my own backyard and not say nothing.
Cobb County Police say they are investigating Bassinga's death as a suicide and say based on evidence, there are no signs of foul play.
We all do understand that we don't know what happened. It's just the fact something did happen. A young man lost his life, and we just want to make sure that we get to the bottom of this.
Whether it's a suicide or whatever, now they're concerned about their child. But I want them to know that the black community is concerned as well, that we care.
I'm Stefanette Haynock, 11 Alive News.
On Friday, 11 Alive spoke with the family of Bassinga and asked them about the speculation online surrounding the circumstances of his death. The family said in a statement, right now, online speculation is the least of our worries. We are focused on burying our son, and I'm happy to have found him.
Wow. Okay, hold on just a second. Okay, so it further says a vigil is planned Tuesday to honor a 23-year-old man whose death in a Marietta park continues to raise questions for some in the community. The Cobb County Police Department said the death of Kyle Bassinga has been ruled as suicide after his body was found in a wooded area of Fair Oaks Park. Still, days after his body was discovered, some residents are saying they are still not convinced. And I'm not convinced either. Honestly. I'm not convinced, not one bit. So, the video pretty much explains what this here says as well. It does say community members are now planning a gathering to remember Bassinga. The New Order, National Human Rights Organization is organizing a vigil at the park Tuesday at 11 a.m. Gerald Rose with the organization said the case felt personal to him. And that was the gentleman that said that it was in his backyard. He has to say something.
Okay.
Yeah. It says police said their investigation found no evidence of foul play. Were they looking for evidence of foul play? I mean, what kind of evidence are you looking for to... I just don't... Who is able to do that to themselves? There's nothing to stand up on.
Right.
I mean, when you think about it, what was there? A chair, a rock, or something that he could jump up on and tie that thing around his neck?
Yeah, and what reason?
And kick it away?
Was he depressed during his last days? What is his friend saying?
And nobody. That's the thing, that there's been very little said about the investigation, but I found it very insulting to come out and throw that self-unaliving tag on it before you even start an investigation. I find that very, very disrespectful, especially considering the history that this country has with black people back in Jim Crow and as far back as when the KKK were established, of people being dragged out of their homes, black men especially being dragged out of their homes and dragged into the woods and hung from the trees. Hello, baby, I see you. I just feel it's insulting to our intelligence. This is in a sundown town in the South. And you can't tell me that there's no racism down there in the South anymore. That is some baked in shit. People have a way of hiding things these days, but it doesn't mean it's still not there. So what I'm going to do here, hold on just a second. Let me pull this down. The police have come out and addressed, they've come out and addressed the community.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll share with you that video as well.
Point, officials are addressing a man who was found dead in Fair Oaks Park. There's been a lot of speculation on social media about this situation. A lot of people have questioned whether or not this was a suicide or if there was foul play at hand. Let's listen to what officials have to say during this address.
As African Americans, and particularly men, during that historical time has caused many to respond to what is occurring with great disbelief. And I've seen many responses and received correspondence from people who have drawn conclusions about what has occurred here. And it was important when I saw that communication to be able to respond directly to say, I hear you, I understand, and we are sensitive to that here in this county. And we want to see the truth of the matter first for the family who is deserving of understanding that as they go through their own grief at this time. But
did Rocky eat it?
Community to know the truth. But I don't want us to lose the thought that it's also important to our men and women and law enforcement for them to be able to identify and convey the truth. And I'm asking for some sensitivity for all as we understand the sensitivity of what has occurred. We look forward to uncovering the facts, and I will turn things over quickly to our police chief. But having a lot of misinformation out there in the community is also creating to a great sense of unease about what is occurring, not just to members of our community, but to the family. And I appreciate the heart that our community has, not as only as a chairwoman, but being a mom of 2 young Black men. We appreciate that heart and concern. I'm asking for them to also appreciate the process that our men and women in law enforcement need to have to be able to bring clarity to everyone with respect to this. And I know that they are doing this with a great deal of thoughtfulness and sensitivity. And we look forward to sharing more with you. And I look forward to our police chief being able to discuss more of the details of the undertaking of his department.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dan Farrell. I'm the Chief of Police for Cobb County Police Department. I do have a short written statement and that I will go over with you, and I will open up at the end to answer a few questions.
I'm sorry. Lily says everyone knows what this is. I know what this is. Do you put a 1 in the chat if you say the same? Do you know what this really is?
It's like a cover up.
It just seems it never fails whenever a Black man is found in 2025-26. We talking about in the year 2020 something.
Yeah.
And people are being hung from trees. I don't hear about white folks being hung from trees, do y'all?
No.
It just ironically happens to be down in the South, and they just happen to be young black men or black men, period. And even when they were doing it way back in the day, when they were doing it, it was always swept under the rug then, too. Now, I will say allegedly at this point. At this point, I will say allegedly because half the time it was law enforcement involved back in the day. Now, I'm not saying law enforcement is involved in this particular case. I'll let you decide that. But usually, when they were doing this way back in the day, who was doing the do? A lot of them were law enforcement. Further back, they were sheriffs, deputies, whatever name you want to put on it, somebody that wore a badge, because they have the means of controlling the narrative. And who's to say that this isn't happening now? I'm not saying that that's the case. This is my own opinion, and I'm not hanging this on nobody else. Someone tried to tell me, you got to protect your channel. You can't say those things. I say what the hell I want to say. And if that's a problem, then the hell with this channel. But I'm not going to compromise my beliefs behind a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. I got this far without YouTube. I've only been on YouTube for 2 years. I survived long enough before I got in YouTube. And if it goes away, it just goes away. I will live. I will survive.
Exactly.
But I will not compromise my beliefs to keep a YouTube channel.
I know.
And it ain't like YouTube is paying my bills either.
Hello?
Hi, T is Mimi. How are you, sweetheart? So I'm going to let this gentleman continue talking. I just had to throw that in there because too many people are concerned about their own little things going on. I'm not concerned about that. This YouTube channel can kick rocks.
Exactly.
When it comes down to standing up for my people, I'm going to stand up for my people before I stand up for YouTube, because YouTube ain't going to stand up for me.
No.
I would like to make one clarification on this, that there are certain details that I will not be able to talk about today. Not that they can't be spoken about in the future, in the near future, but I believe once I finish with my statement, you'll understand that a little bit better. If we have questions that are related to procedures from the police department, when will information become available? Why is there a delay in the information? I'm more than happy to answer those questions for you. And so today I really wanted to take a moment and to speak directly to our community and regarding the death investigation involving Kyle. And first, I really want to acknowledge something very clearly, and that this case has created an emotional response, and I understand that. I recognize the historical sensitivities surrounding circumstances like this, and I do not dismiss the weight that carries. The concerns being expressed in our community are real, and I know that they deserve to be acknowledged. From the beginning of this case, it was assigned to our major crimes unit. Our detectives immediately went out, they secured the crime scene. Any death investigation is going to include a very comprehensive process. That includes surveillance review, witness interviews, scene examination, forensic analysis, and a consultation with the medical examiner's office. And that's standard practice on any death investigation.
Lady Letitia, is there anything you want to add to this? Because honestly, the chat is just kind of chilling there. Maybe you and I can have a conversation, because we all need to be interacting about this situation. This is not something to just sit and watch and oogle at the screen. This is serious.
Well, I was sitting here listening to him, And it's almost like he's trying to protect his police force,
Mm-hmm.
or, let them know we've done everything we can and we're doing our job.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think so.
And same with her as well.
Yeah.
Same with her as well. I agree. I mean,
Take
there's,
a second look. Even if you don't think so, do it for the community because the community is concerned.
and I'm looking at the sister like, use some plain and common sense. If she's got 2 sons,
Right.
do you honestly think you're equal to that man that you're sitting next to?
Wow, she looks guilty. She really does. She looked like, I really can't do anything for you guys.
Well, they're put in these positions and then they're pretty much, and I'm not saying this is the case with her, I'm just saying in general. Many times people are in these positions and they have to make a decision. Do you want to keep your job or do you want to do the right thing? You see what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate because these are a lot of black people that are put in this position in a case such as this. This is your people. And you're having to sit there in front of the camera and say, well, before you jump to conclusions, but in your heart of hearts, sister girl, in your heart of hearts, this nothing was ever mentioned about being mentally ill about this man, this young man. There was no discussion prior to, from friends, witnesses, whomever, of any type of mental illness. Exactly, Rachel. Lily says the police are always so quick to rule these hangings as an unaliving. Yeah, exactly. A unaliving. It's just so quick to, before you even pick up a pen and paper to go out there and study the crime scene. You've already got a preconceived notion before you even leave your office that this is what it is. So when you go in there with that preconceived notion, that's all you're going to look for. Rachel says they are glossing over this matter, and this black sister is acting like, oh, well, that sister's trying to keep her job. And it makes you wonder. And I'm not saying that that's the case, but it certainly makes you wonder in today's society, the choices that people are forced to make. In media, in law enforcement, even on social media. They have to make a decision. Is it me or them? Is it me or the truth? And 9 times out of 10, people are going to stand for themselves. I got bills to pay. Well, you know what? I can pay my bills with or without YouTube. So now what? Now what? Not enough people are talking about this, especially in mainstream media. We're only seeing this talked about on social platforms. It's like, what, it's not important enough? Would this be the same treatment that if it were a young white boy? I'm just saying what I'm saying. If it was
Good question.
a young white boy that was found hanging from a tree, it'd be all over the news. I'm willing to bet. Oh my God. Let me start back up here.
This investigation remains open, and it will remain open until the last investigative step is complete. And the second thing that I really want to address today is transparency. And as the chief of police, I believe in transparency. I believe that that is essential for success in a police department. Our community does deserve honest communication, but they also deserve factual information. And at the same time, transparency has to be balanced with investigative integrity and respect for a family. And there are victims involved in these cases. There are families involved in these cases. And as much as the police department wants to be transparent, it's very important that we also be respectful to the victims and the victim's family as we're doing that.
Okay, so do you have that same smoke when someone else is unalived? When Nancy Guthrie disappeared, where was the where was the concern of the family then? They jumped on media and announced to the public that this woman is missing. She herself came out and announced my mama's missing. And then
Yeah.
TMZ comes out after they've gotten a note. Now, if in the case of a doggone kidnapping, y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Do you announce to the public and to the people that have written you a ransom note that you've contacted the authorities? Did you just write her death sentence? But they jumped on there and reported that like it was no. Did they consider the family then? Did they? Put a 1 in the chat if you think that they considered the family. I'm just using that as an example.
That's a good example.
TMZ came out, breaking news. We just got a note from the so-called kidnappers. Did they call and consult with the family first before they jumped the gun and went on live stream and announce all that? Hello, Demon Dictator. Thank you, love. But did they announce that? Or did they go to the family first and say, listen, somebody wrote this letter to us. What should we do? No, they jumped out there on YouTube and announced to the world, we got a letter. We got a ransom note. And we have notified the authorities. I don't know.
All hands on deck.
My experience in terms of what I've witnessed in terms of kidnappings, the last thing you want to do is tell the kidnapper that you're calling the popo. That's the last thing you want to do. They don't want you interacting with the authorities. Now, maybe I'm just old-fashioned. Who knows? But guess what? She's still gone. Is she home yet?
Nope.
Been all over the news.
4 weeks.
84 years old. All over the news.
Yeah.
With a pacemaker in her chest that has disconnected from her Apple Watch.
Mm-hmm.
Now, was TMZ mindful of being transparent? Or, were they being mindful of the family then? What makes this situation any different? I understand that the people are grieving, but this is a community. They have concerns too.
Exactly.
They have concerns. Who's next?
Who's next?
You got one. Who's next?
Who's next?
Don't be so quick to jump and say that this person unalived themselves without knowing the full information.
Facts. The facts. The full real deal. And like he's trying to pacify us a little bit with his statement and saying, we can only answer so many questions because of the family.
Right, the family. Not the authenticity of the case, but the family. And I understand being respectful of the family, but the law is the law. You can't gloss over things because of the family. Because they gonna do what they gotta do anyway. Chances are they're not paying attention to the news anyway. They got stuff to take care of.
Right.
Satin said they want Black History Month to absolutely disappear. The NAACP needs to be all over this. Absolutely, Satin. Where are they?
Here.
Where are they? Where's Al Sharpton at? I would ask where Jesse is. We know where he is. He just died. But where's our black leaders?
Yeah.
Where's Ben Crump?
I was wondering.
Where's Ben Crump? Or is the paycheck not big enough? Oh, yeah, I got smoke for him too. But this is something that every time it's something new. It's the same story, different day, same story. We ain't heard nothing else about what happened to the last young man that was found on that college campus. It just kind of went away. As all of these stories end up doing is they just kind of go away.
They go away. What happened?
And you can't tell me that out of all of these different stories with the same outcome that somebody didn't make that happen instead. Come on, man. You can't sell me that with a bag of rocks. I'm sorry.
It's been a long-standing procedure that we do not release detailed investigative facts until we have first met with the family and informed them. In this incident, there was a little bit of a delay in that because the family was traveling from another country. We have a scheduled meeting where we can walk them through the investigative findings in detail. Out of respect, it would be inappropriate for the police department to share sensitive facts publicly about this case before speaking with the family directly. I do understand that when information is limited, that speculation grows. The social media commentary can certainly amplify the uncertainty, but our responsibility is not really to respond to speculation, it's to follow the evidence and communicate verified facts. You know, in any case where foul play is concerned, to include this investigation, detectives look for indicators, signs of a disturbance, evidence of a struggle, defensive injuries, additional physical evidence from the scene, electronic communications, forensic findings from the medical examiner's office.
Yeah, he's shaking his head and
I can
trying
tell
to
you that
dismiss
based
it.
on the evidence collected thus far, there have been no indicators that another person was involved in this incident. However, the investigation does still remain active, and we will continue to.
I want to know what makes them say no one else was involved
That's
in this
what I'm
incident.
saying. Exactly.
Give your criteria.
Yep.
Don't throw a comment out there without substantial evidence of what you're saying. Back it up. Why do you feel that there was no one else involved? No footprints?
Right.
You specific to me, buddy.
Exactly. And then we're supposed to just be like, oh, okay, we said we had concerns. That should trickle them into wanting to investigate or even dig a little deeper.
Absolutely.
Just in case they miss something.
Absolutely. But see, this is all by design. This is all by design, depending on what county you're in or whatever. Look, Danny's doing a story right now of a young man who was unalived by the police. And they have this on video. There's video. The mother saw this video. Where was the consideration then of the family?
Right.
To see your baby unalived.
Right.
By excessive force of the police.
Ooh. That is horrible.
They pick and choose.
They do.
When they want to spare a family. This mother has to endure over and over watching a video of her son being unalived on the streets. I can't remember what city it was.
Wow. That's just sad.
Apparently he was being tailed. He was being surveilled for some reason. But the bottom line is the whole situation put me into the mind of what happened to Alex Preddy.
Yeah.
They claim he had a you-know-what pow-pow. But what? Okay, so where is it? He was on the ground.
Yeah.
Face down. Empty-handed.
Yeah.
Why did you shoot him?
Why did you shoot him?
Excessive force. But
Excessive force.
where's the consideration from for the family then?
There's none.
Splat the Cat said, "What did Kyle's emails, texts reveal prior to his death?" I'd be curious to find that out as well.
Exactly. It just doesn't make sense.
Exactly, Camille. How can you say no one else was involved when you haven't even started an investigation? You jumping the gun right then and there. Well,
Right. You
there's no need
assume.
to think that there's no one else involved.
Right.
So you've started the investigation? Either you started it or you haven't started it. But this is what they do. They go in with these preconceived notions and then they start their investigation. You can't you there's only two ways to lie. And neither one are gonna be good. Because you're gonna always be called on your lie. Hold on a second.
To evaluate all the evidence thoroughly. Our responsibility as a police department is really simple, and that's to conduct a thorough investigation and to be transparent in a responsible and a respectful way.
I don't feel
And
convinced.
to treat the family with dignity and respect in all of our investigations. I certainly understand the community wanting to know as much about this case as they can because of the type of case it is. And I apologize for the delay in being able to provide more information. However, as soon as possible, we will try to apply some clarity and some context around this incident. Our thoughts from our police department are with the family during this incredibly difficult time. And, it's a tragedy the way it's happened. We lost the life of a young man. And anytime that happens, it's a tragedy. For our department, we want to find out the truth.
Word salad. Okay.
It's
Word
just
salad.
they're full of it.
Word salad. Here's the thing. What was the reason of waiting so long? I mean, pardon us being, taking so long. Okay, the only thing that I've heard him say
It's
that
almost
is
like
a
he's
cause for this
apologizing.
taking so long is that apparently the family is from another country.
Yeah, that's what he said. They're from a different
So
country.
they got to come into town. So you're not going to do nothing until they get here?
Right.
Is that what the
They're gonna
holdup
take you
is?
guys at face value. There's something up. He is all over the place. He word selling it. He's trying to convince us they've doing everything that they've done their job, and they haven't.
Today is the 23rd of February. He was found on February 18th. February 18th is when he was found.
Did they even dust for fingerprints?
I don't know what the hell they've done because ain't nobody talking. Only social
There
media.
should be more outrage.
Hence the reason my big mouth is on here. It's really where is CNN? Where's MSNBC?
Yeah, Don Lemon and them.
It appalls me because, like I said, if it was someone else of another melanated or non-melanated skin tone, we'd be hearing all over the place about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially strangulation. Yeah.
I remember when that chick,
a kid, a baby.
when that young lady, I can't remember what her name was, her and her boyfriend went up in the mountains and he ended up unaliving her. But that was national news. What was her name? I can't
Oh, yeah, I
remember.
remember.
Several
Yep,
years
he
ago.
turned around and killed himself, unalived himself.
Yeah. That was all over the news. All over the news. It just kills me. It kills me. BET, yeah. Where's BET? Now, all of these big, all of these big networks that should be out here talking about this are silent. Some local stations down there in Georgia. But where is the big ones at? What, it ain't important enough? Man, I tell you the truth, this world is screwed. This country's screwed.
We want to know what led up to it, get those facts together, and provide that to the family and provide that to the community so that there's no confusion on exactly what happened in this case. It does take time. As the chief, I do ask for patience from everyone as we're trying to balance being transparent and balance the respect and dignity of a family. And so if you can be patient with us, we would certainly appreciate that.
Be patient. What do you mean? Today is the 23rd. You found him on the 18th. 5 days have passed and you haven't started an investigation yet? Golly. Let's be patient, y'all. They'll get around to it. They'll get around to it. I'm sure that the tape that that it won't blow away. It'll stay up there. That'll preserve all evidence. And please.
I will open the floor for a couple of questions.
Yes, I may, Chief. So if you could reiterate, please, there is no indication of foul play in this young man's death.
That's right.
Why?
It appears all the evidence gathered thus far is tragically this young man took his own life.
Yes, sir, at this point.
At this point, yeah. I mean, you're still gathering information, but that's the evidence.
Absolutely. And, from everything that we have collected thus far, indicate that he was alone at the time. So there has been not one piece of evidence so far that would indicate that anyone else was there.
So being alone automatically makes it a self-unaliving because there was no one else there. What other information, what other evidence do you have?
Right.
That says that he did that to himself.
That he did that to himself. I feel like they're lying.
You've got all this,
a whole bunch of excuses.
You've got all this so-called surveillance on this humongous park, and you just happen to have one piece of surveillance of him going in the park alone. Do you know how large a park is? Anybody can access a park from different points.
Some name right.
Undetected. But because no one else went in there with him, tells us that he did it.
Exactly. That makes no sense.
And here we are 5 days later. And you want people to sit here and listen to this bullshit about you being concerned about the family, et cetera, et cetera.
No, you're ready to close the case. You're ready to shut it down. You're ready to go home and get in the bed and pretend like, oh, okay, it didn't happen. Nothing to see here. Yes, it was.
We
All
need
need to be looked at.
We need our leaders to start getting on their necks and don't blow this crap out the window as if it didn't happen.
Exactly.
They're not getting enough public scrutiny.
I don't think so. And they're asking the right questions, and they're still coming up with word salad.
I mean, he's just confident that he did it himself.
He's very
confident. You haven't conducted an investigation yet, but you have already come out here and predetermined it. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
You just another point of clarification. You're saying you have not yet met with the family.
Correct.
And when you do, the department will be able to share more specific evidence about what has led you all to.
Correct. I believe we'll be able to provide some more context. And, we had a family member that had to fly in from out of country and make travel arrangements. And they're also making arrangements for their child. And so that meeting should take place in the next day or so, as she comes into town, and we can sit down with the family. Once that meeting takes place, we will discuss releasing additional information to the public and put that context around exactly what happened. And I believe that will answer the questions that people actually have been posing.
Yeah, I think you said the word video evidence. Is there any video evidence in this?
This should be interesting. He's about to touch on video evidence. How do you have video evidence over an entire park that could have multiple entryways? Just a question. Let me start this back up.
Here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
He does not know if someone went in there or not. Do they have footage?
That's what they're saying. They're saying according to their footage, he's the only one that entered the park. Well, how do we know there wasn't someone already in the park? We're talking about a park, trees. How do you know there wasn't someone already propped up in there, sleeping out there for all we know? Who do we know? We don't know. But just because you're basing it on the fact that you saw some footage of him going in there alone does not mean he did that to himself. This is some bullshit. I'll be back.
Case.
Great. So there will be video evidence from phones, evidence from witnesses that were there. There's physical evidence that has been collected. So there is a substantial amount of evidence that our detectives have actually collected on this. That has not been shared up to this point because we haven't had time to sit down and talk with the family about that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I understand real quick, Chief, sir. So you said the medical examiner is still conducting their investigation.
Correct.
The autopsy. Do we have an estimated time for when that will be completed?
Yeah, they should have preliminary results off of it to have a discussion, but a toxicology does take time. But they'll do a physical examination and they'll have their preliminary results back off of that soon. And so our detectives can sit down with the ME's office and they'll get those results.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
So you were listening in there as Chairwoman Lisa Cupid and Chief Dan Farrell in Cobb County are addressing social media speculation and evidence surrounding the death of a man found dead in Fair Oaks Park. This has gotten a lot of attention on social media and on right here within our newsroom as we've continued to cover this situation. Police and leaders there say that there's been a lot of misinformation and they want the chance to be able to do their jobs. And they also say that they need to sit down with this young man's family who was found dead in Fair Oaks Park before sharing some more of that evidence publicly. They believe that there is no foul play surrounding this young man's death, and they believe that he took his own life. However, a lot within the community, a lot of people and community members have been concerned about this, saying based on how this appears, they don't believe that to be true. This is a story we're going to continue to follow and keep you updated on. Like I mentioned, if you're just joining us, the police chief, Dan Farrell, did say they have video evidence, witness evidence, and other evidence that they plan to share, but they need to sit down and speak with the family first and share that evidence with them before they share it with the public. The police chief also said that they're waiting for more information from the medical examiner's office. And once the medical examiner is able to share with them a toxicology report, as well as more details on an official cause of death, they're going to share that with the community as well. But based on how this meeting went today and what this just was, it seems that the leaders in Cobb County are trying to address what they are calling the misinformation surrounding this case.
You know what this puts me in mind of? I hate to interrupt her.
No.
What did they
interrupt her too? Yeah.
What did they say when Epstein was found in his cell? What did they say? He self unalived himself.
Yep. He
self unalived himself with all those cameras and everything. But we know different. But they They, as soon as it happened, they jumped right on the camera, and breaking news: Jeffrey Epstein has taken his own life. Did they contact his family? Nope. Breaking news. Fed us a lie and expected us to digest it. What makes this any different? Think about it. We talking about a multi-billionaire. And I hate to bring politics into this, but look, I'm just going to call a spade a spade. When Jeffrey Epstein was unalived in that cell, we know he didn't do that to himself.
Didn't.
We know he didn't do it, but they still trying to shove it down our throats.
Right.
But this is what law enforcement has a tendency to do when they don't want
cover up
things to come out, because it may cause some kind of social uprising of some kind.
Wow.
Millionaires Cove says
that would be a super reason not to do it.
Here in Atlanta, it's only been one news team that had broadcasted it. Marietta is known for racism and hanging.
Wow. That's BS.
And Millionaires Cove lives in Atlanta.
That right there alone should spark questions and enough for them to investigate further. Maybe do some fingerprinting. Was he the only person out there by himself? How do you know that?
I mean, honestly, the media wants us to, or the police want us to, they figure they can just feed us anything and we'll consume it like it's Baskin and Robbins. We knew that it was a lie when they said Epstein unalived himself. And I really don't believe what these people are saying about this young man unaliving himself. It seems that every time someone of color in the South unalives themselves, it's automatically construed to be a self-unaliving. Come on now. They want to feed this garbage to the public and expect us to consume it like it's some doggone butter pecan ice cream and gobble it up. I don't like butter pecan no more. But it's bullshit. And then you want to use the family as an excuse why you haven't come public with what you found. You haven't looked for anything, have you? Because you've already made your preconceived notions.
Right.
You've already got the narrative on paper.
Yeah.
Because God forbid you come out there and say that someone lynched this black man.
Right.
God forbid you do that. Because now you definitely going to have your hands full. Because there's some pissed off black folks out there in the community and they don't want to deal with it. Come on.
That's a shame.
What are we talking about here?
Yeah, exactly. Good. This is some good questions.
Your police force can hardly deal with what they're dealing with already. God forbid you have an uprising.
Wow.
How many officers?
Eat all that.
How many officers are on the force that secretly wish they could be ICE agents? Millionaires Cove says they are saying that he had someone from the school that was jealous of his academics in school, and it was issues arising. So that means that somebody possibly did that to him.
Right. There's a suspect. There is a person of interest. There is some more communication. Would he do that? Did they ask the family that? Would he do something like that?
Well, and not only that, they're holding it up, blaming it on the family not being available yet.
Oh, this is horrible.
The family's got to come in from another country and someone else is coming in from another country. You don't let stuff like that hinder your investigation.
Yeah.
Time is of the essence.
Yeah, it is.
People leave. People run.
Yeah.
If you ain't paying attention, the person that did it could be long gone because you waiting on the family to get into town.
There you go.
Or you don't want to reveal anything to the public because it would be disrespectful to the family. Well, what about the people that live in that community?
Yeah.
It's disrespectful to them to withhold specific information that could impact them later.
Exactly, Auntie Mickey. That can affect them.
So save that bull crap about respecting the family, because look, I respect the family too, but guess what? If we live in this community and you're coming from another country, I'm sorry you've lost your loved one. I really am. But we live here. We live here. And I'm not buying this word salad that they're throwing up here, expecting for people to consume it like they did with Epstein. Oh, we'll just tell them that he did it to himself. They'll believe it. And now look where we are. Now we got Epstein files out there, and everybody and they mammy, crappy daddy, all these people are in them files. Not saying that everybody that's in them files did something wrong, but guess who was wrong? He's sitting out there at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Yes, Millionaire's Cove, and I have that as well. As a matter of fact, let me take this video down. We're going to look at one last video. Now, this one is somewhat longer, but this is from another content creator. Hold on just a second. Taylor House Publishing. They did a video on this as well. So I'm going to go ahead and share this, because I think that everything we can show will give somebody some kind of context. Hello, Discerning 8.
Yeah, it'll get it out there. Something ain't smelling right.
Something ain't smelling right. When this is the go-to every time, come on, man. Come on, man. Let me make this smaller. Okay.
Yeah, that ain't even sounding right.
Yeah.
What do you do? Climb up in the tree?
That's a good question. I mean, it just doesn't seem physically available.
No, it doesn't.
I am really messing up this screen. Hold on just a second. What did I do?
Really
Why is this
appalled by them not doing more.
Okay, hold on just a second. There's something going on with this picture. Okay, here we go.
Bassinga, a student at Georgia State University in Georgia, has been found on a walking trail in Marietta, Georgia, suspended in the air from a tree, hanging from a tree. Now, there's no news coverage of this yet, but there is a lot of social media information that is circulating. So I'm going to share a little bit of those social media posts with you. And so there's also some video of him walking on the trail saying he was followed, but there's also a video of him in a confrontation with the police. Now, keep in mind, he has been missing since February the 14th, Valentine's Day. There are several posts from his family expressing concern of his whereabouts. Now, just take a look at this right here. If you look at this post right here, it says another black man found hanging. I could not get a picture of the young man. He is still hanging from the tree, and it is now 11:46 a.m. at Fair Oaks Park, Marietta, Georgia. He has on a black jacket. That's all I can see now. Got a picture of the rope. This is so sad. So sad. A Mexican man was walking through the trail.
Now listen, y'all. This is a post from someone that found his body. This ain't no speculation here. This post is an actual picture, and the post that he included under that picture, this is the man that found him. Hold on a second.
And thought it was a prank until he saw that it was a real body and came running out screaming, "It's a real body. It's dead. It's hanging." Someone walking through a trail found a black man hanging with the rope around his neck in a tree in Fair Oaks Park, Marietta, Georgia. Now, we've covered many of these situations on this channel. Most recently, the one that kind of caught the nation by storm is that of Trey Reed, a Mississippi, a Delta State University student who was found on the campus. Now, people are already saying that this is a fake story, but there's too much information circulating about this for it to be fake, in my opinion. Just look at some more of these Facebook posts, and even someone has unearthed videos of our brother Kyle in some precarious positions. Just watch. And this post right here was made on February the 15th, 5 days ago. If you see this young man, please call 911 immediately. His name is Kyle Bassinga. He is one of Samari's best friends since 6th grade. All the family and friends are distraught. So this is a missing person flyer. Last seen Reflection Student Housing. So once again, that alleges that he is a student. And here's another post. A 21-year-old man was found hanging at Fair Oaks Park in Marietta, Georgia on Wednesday. Police haven't identified the victim yet, but it is believed to be the missing 21-year-old Kyle Bassinga, who was last seen leaving Georgia State University and lives in Marietta. The only articles I can find are just the statement: a man was found hanging from a tree Wednesday morning.
Okay, Discerning 8, they're going to show the video in just a little bit of the confrontation. Just to let you know. And I'm glad to see you're not in the hospital anymore either.
And if you look at this photo, here's another photo of him. It is obvious that, he likes to walk the trails. This is him out in the trails. Also, here's another post that you see him out in the wilderness. 21-year-old Kyle Bassinga was found deceased in a wooded area of Fair Oaks Park near West Booth Road in Cobb County, just outside of Marietta, Georgia. Investigators have stated that the case is currently being investigated as a possible self-unalivement, of course.
Now, that's where I got a problem. Right there. Investigators have stated the case is currently being investigated as a possible, it says censored, unaliving, self-unaliving. The final determination is pending autopsy results by the Cobb County Medical Examiner's Office. They went in there with that preconceived notion. Investigators have stated the case is currently being investigated as a possible self-unaliving. This is what happens when you come in with preconceived notions. You went in looking for that.
You sure did.
This is what I'm saying. You going in there with the preconceived notion. You done put it out there in you done put it in writing.
Yep. You sure have. That this is what happened. Period. End of discussion. Moving on. Nothing to see here.
Exactly.
But the final determination is pending autopsy results by the Cobb County Medical Examiner's Office. Unverified community report that the death is a lynching rather than self-unalivement or self-inflicted. No official statement from law enforcement or major news sources has labeled it as such. And once again, you see him here.
Of course, they're not labeling it as such because that's not what they want you to believe. If that is what if they were truly investigating this and keeping all cards on the table, they wouldn't have went in saying it's being investigated as a possible bloody, 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 blah. They would have just said, we are investigating, period. Not as a this or not as a that, not as a homicide, not as an unaliving of himself. They would have just said, we are going into this to investigate and we'll get back with you with any further developments, period. But they peeped their own whole card before they even got through with an investigation. This is what downplaying and controlling the narrative looks like.
Out in the woods, in the wilderness. So that is where he, liked to stay. Now, here is a video of the young brother out in the woods, but also he's going to be having a conversation, which is kind of contentious with the police. Just watch.
I'm gonna start walking now because this lady started treating me like I'm some crazy. A random car drives behind me close like that. What? Bro, look where you on the sidewalk right here. You was driving close to me, bro.
This is the video of him arguing with police right here. This is the video that he had an exchange with the police. They were campus police, if I'm not mistaken. They wanted his ID, and he, clear as day, had a t-shirt on that said Georgia State University. He's a student there. And they approached him out of the blue and asked him for his ID. Why do you need his ID? What was he doing that required you to need his ID other than him walking down the street on campus? Y'all may not want to admit it, but this racial profiling crap is real.
Come on, bro.
I'm just gonna tell you again to chill out, stop screaming, and don't get in my face, okay? That's the last time you can get in my face.
I'm not even close to you right now, gang. Just give me my shit and I can go about my business. Cause this is low-key illegal what you just did. You just checked me for no reason. Well, what was your reason for getting my ID?
You said you were a student, so I asked your parents.
No. What was your initial reason? Because you see my hoodie. I have a Georgia State hoodie on, bro. It's time, bro, and I'm really speaking to myself when I say this, bro. Like, it's no longer time to sit on your ass all day, bulls and all that, bro. It's really time to get to it, bro. Fear is not real. It's not a real emotion. Like, obviously, it's fight or flight, but you're not supposed to fear a human being. And I say this to say, like, you should never let anyone try to downplay you or downsize you. Because at the end of the day, we're all equal. We're all human beings. We're all equal, bro.
Does he sound suicidal to y'all?
Hell no. No.
Listen
he
to
does not.
the word.
He
Listen
sounds like very sure of himself.
He's spitting some knowledge here and have that kind of mindset. Why would you turn around and go into them woods behind you and hang yourself?
Right.
Millionaire's Cove says his phone and wallet is missing as well.
See?
No. So now, if he did that to himself, wouldn't his phone and wallet still be there?
Right. Exactly.
Somebody took his phone and his wallet.
Wow.
Are they investigating that or did they take it? Who knows? I don't believe they're investigating anything.
And for someone to put fear into you is a form of showing that, yo, I'm not equal towards you. I'm actually above you. So you should never let anyone put that fear in your heart, man. Walk with God in your heart. If you got God in your heart, you shouldn't need to fear anybody except God.
Hello.
But yeah, I'm gonna start walking now because this lady's starting.
All right, so there you see once again a video. One video is of him interacting with the police. Evidently, the police were harassing him, asking him for ID. He got kind of contentious with them, and so that may be, a reason why he went missing. Also, you saw him in the woods with a mask on, kind of looking around. He definitely looked, in my opinion, paranoid. In the end of the video, saying, "Okay, I'm going to go ahead and walk now because." This lady is following me. And this, once again, is another missing persons poster from 2 days ago. Please share so we can bring Kyle Bassinga home. This is my brother's son. His friends last saw him on Georgia State University campus, and no one has heard from him since. We are desperate to find him so much and need to come home ASAP. Please share. He turned 21 earlier this month.
Now that altercation took place on the campus with those police. And that's the last place he was seen alive.
Where's his phone?
Yeah.
Where's his phone? Something is weird.
He was last seen on the campus alive, which happens to be exactly where the altercation with the police took place.
Right. He didn't sound like a person that was in any kind of duress or any kind of situation where they didn't want to live. He sounded like he was
very sure of himself.
Yes.
And very spiritually grounded.
Exactly.
And once again, there's more posts about it. So everyone is talking about this incident except law enforcement. And, I've recently pulled up a few more articles about it from, I guess, reputable news sources. Let's take a look at them. This article won't let me pull it up, but it was a one-sentence article saying a body was found in Marietta in Fair Oak Park this morning. A one-sentence article. And here's a brief article about it. A body of a 21-year-old man was discovered in a wooded area of Fair Oaks Parks in Marietta, Georgia on Wednesday morning, according to Cobb County Police. The victim has not been identified, but local authorities have already reported that detectives found no signs of foul play and have determined their death is being self-unalivement. The Cobb Police Rangers Unit, which patrols the county's park properties, responded to the scene after a 911 caller reported a dead body in the area. From there, officers with the Ranger Unit secured the scene and called the department's Major Crimes Unit to investigate the death. Detectives reviewed surveillance footage from the park and surrounding areas, interviewed witnesses, and collected physical evidence from the scene, where witness reported seeing the man enter the wooded area alone on February the 14th at approximately 4:28 p.m. Police say there are no signs of foul play, and detectives found no evidence indicating that anyone else was involved in the man's death. As a result, detectives have determined the death is being investigated.
That's some bullshit. I'm sorry. Let me let him finish.
Investigated as self-unalivement. Officials confirmed that the man's next of kin have been notified.
Again, I'm sorry. That's a pretty quick investigation to come up with that much of a determination. You don't even know the man's name yet.
No, you don't. They're not even saying his name.
They haven't even said his name yet. This is some BS.
Yeah, it is.
And so we can stop it right there because we already see the narrative being explained. That this young black man just went into the woods, grabbed a rope, stood on a stool or whatever, and suspended himself in the air from a tree down in Georgia, Marietta, Georgia, Cobb County, which once again is known for our racist behavior. This right here is indicative of what we see, whether it's police shooting our young black men or, these racists catching them in vulnerable positions out, knowing they like to walk alone. The police may have been following him ever since that interaction, but they said witnesses saw him walking to the woods alone. Who are these witnesses?
Exactly.
And why are they, how did they notice just a random person walking into the woods alone? This definitely reeks of foul play, but it's a shame how they always say that there's no foul play immediately after finding this man. This man has been missing for since Valentine's Day, and this is what they come up with. Rest in peace to the young brother Kyle Bassinga. Our prayers go to his family. Make sure y'all share this video so people can see what is still going on in this day and time. Y'all see the number 919-587-7782. Thank y'all for liking, watching, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. And as always, I pray you have peace and blessings.
So, like I said, we see the narrative. Brother said it right there. We see the narrative that they're trying to place.
Yeah.
This is what they always do.
This really
Adventurous Youth says black people do not commit suicide just like black people do not shoot up schools. And I won't say that black people do not commit self-unaliving. I won't say that. I won't go that far to say that. But in the manner in which he died, that's not how black folks do it. That's too much like acknowledging your suppressors. You don't give them that kind of grace.
Wow.
If that young man wanted to do that to himself, I'm sure that there were other ways that he would have chosen to do that. He did not, and he never exhibited any kind of indication that he was of that mindset.
Right.
None.
Whatsoever.
And like the brother said, what witnesses? Who? What witnesses? Who are the witnesses?
Who are the witnesses? And what's frustrating is that the two that was giving the press conference dismissed it without saying, you know what, for the community's sake, we'll do an extensive, thorough search. No, we've ruled that out. That's not happening. And he unalived himself, and that's what happened. And that's end of story. They did a thorough investigation on everything, and we've done everything, and we've done everything and everything and everything. We're at a conclusion.
Hey, Discerning 8. Hello, love.
Hey, Auntie, and hey, Lady Letitia.
Hello.
I'm so glad you came up here because I was about to ask you, do you want to come on up?
She's so pretty. Lady Letitia's so pretty.
I know.
She is. Yeah, I was coming up because I think, Auntie, I told you about my niece in Georgia, right?
No.
Okay, so a few years back, my niece, everybody can Google her, Diamond Crawley. She was 15. She was at a bus stop, and Diamond went missing from the bus stop. Now, they claim that they saw some guys in a car, and so they tried to allude to maybe she got in a car. But one of the older neighbors to where now she's my husband's nephew's daughter. So and they had moved to Georgia. He works 2 hours away from Georgia, so he was at work. Mom had left for work, and she's 15, so she can be at the bus stop. And so long story short, Diamond was missing. When it took a minute to get to media. Then we started, came and was, passing out flyers, the whole nine. So for about 3 months, my nephew and his wife called the police station every single day asking, do you have any information on my daughter? And they kept telling them, no, we haven't heard anything. And then after a while, like a month later, they transferred them to another police department in Georgia. Why? We don't know. Come the third month, they called. Oh no, we ain't heard nothing. Then the coroner office got a hold to my nephew. Diamond had been in the morgue for 3 months.
What?
And so they first tried to turn it on the parents, making it seem like, well, how her parents let her stay in a morgue for 3 months. First of all, we didn't know. Okay. And when I say we, I mean the family.
Right.
He didn't know. They, first, and instead of them investigating, they kind of, they always say family suspect first. So they called his job when she first went missing. His boss was like, he was here. He works third shift. And it takes him 2 hours to get home. He was here at work. We know when he clocked out, he's on camera. And so, that was all cleared. And so instead of them out there looking, so long story short, a woman found Diamond. She was in an abandoned house. We found this out later. Okay. She was in the front yard, half clothed at an abandoned house. So that basically they dumped her there.
Oh my
God.
But
her case and her body was transferred from police department to police department within the various counties in Georgia, far away. Like one was like five hours away. Don't get it. Don't understand it.
Now, let me get this straight. She was immediately reported as missing, correct?
Yes, because she didn't make it to school and she didn't get off that bus.
And nobody bothered to check to see if there was a missing person that fit the criteria.
Nope. And then what they did was, what was crazy is that they did a sketch of Diamond. Okay, the reason a sketch was done is because they found her body, but you never told the family. So then when it finally hit my nephew and his wife, they was like, that's Diamond on TV. And then of course it was going across news stations by this time, and one of my friends was real popular on YouTube. So he did a whole thing on it and he allowed me to speak, on behalf of the family. And so the sketch is what we as the family were alerted to, that you found a body. Because every single day, Georgia, okay, you kept saying, we don't have anything. We don't have anything. White cops. So then we find out that there was a cop that was killing young girls.
Oh wow.
Oh shit.
And so, and they were hiding it in Georgia. And he had murdered multiple young ladies. So to this day, we still don't know who murdered Diamond, but we don't trust them to tell us that you're trying to find that person, because you're not.
No.
They completely failed the family all together. They failed us.
Yes, they did.
I mean, you transferred her case from police department. Why would you? She doesn't even live 5 hours away.
Right.
And then to find out that her body was in a morgue for 3 months, which means you found her when she was first reported.
Right.
And you knew that there was a missing call about a 15-year-old from the bus stop. On
Lord
top
have
of the
mercy.
older neighbor saying that I saw her on the bus stop. Her friends said we saw her on the bus stop.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Georgia's a trip, y'all.
I can imagine.
Georgia's a trip.
And here she had already been
She was
reported as
already gone.
missing.
She was reported missing, but she was already deceased. That lady found Diamond, and what she did was she went to her house. She got a blanket, and Diamond was found about 45 minutes away from where she lived.
Uh-huh.
So we could understand if it was another county that also got involved. But you had like 3 or 4 different police departments, and you had
And
a
she
different story
everywhere else but
everywhere
the
else,
county
but
she was in.
for where she needed to be. And the lady said she went and she got a blanket. She called the cops and said, this is a young girl, and that she was, from, basically she had a shirt on, but from there down, she was naked.
Wow.
Out on the
You know,
on the front lawn, you said?
on the front lawn of an abandoned house. So naturally, we the family took Diamond back to Chicago because that's where my husband and everybody's born and raised, Chicago, and that's where her memorial services were. She had been out so long that they did cremate her, but yeah, but it was based on a sketch.
And
It was a sketch.
she was found shortly after she was unalived, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Wow.
And it was a sketch of her face that they put out there. Now, mind you,
Ain't that a blip?
Now, the family gave pictures for you all to put out there.
Right.
So why you did a sketch,
Why
we
you
don't
doing a
we
sketch?
don't know. They just mishandled the entire situation. But what we didn't like is how they made it seem like the family. So people, you know how people are. They get
They flip the script.
judgmental, and
Yep.
then they, and it was us. It was us blacks. I wouldn't. My baby wouldn't be in a morgue for 3 months. We
Well,
didn't
see,
know.
that's all by design. That's all.
We didn't
That's
know.
all a deflection
Yeah.
to
And
deflect
so
away from
instead
their
of
incompetence.
y'all siding with us and hearing what we're saying is that, the mom and dad called every single day and they kept saying, we don't have anything. Well, how y'all don't have anything, but y'all had a body in the morgue?
But that's what they do. They turn the community on the family, but they want to
Yes.
say that we respect the wishes of the family. In this particular case, they could give 2 shits about the family.
Yep.
They turn the community against the family, point the finger at the family when it was the police that dropped the ball in the first place.
Yeah. And so when you talking about this tonight, Auntie, it just made me think about, and you said Georgia, it just made me think about the cover up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The fact that y'all have to investigate. Y'all know that boy didn't hang himself.
Absolutely not.
You know he didn't hang himself.
Just like they knew Epstein didn't hang himself. Who
Come on
hangs
now.
from a
Come on
bunk?
now.
A
Come
top
on now.
bunk. Come on. And guess who was in office when it went down?
Come on.
Let's fast forward. Who's mentioned in those files more than anybody else?
Yep.
The same joker that was in office when Epstein died.
Yep. And that's what's so crazy about it. The fact that a man found this young man, and I just thought about, man, that's what happened to my niece Diamond. You know what I'm saying? Like
Lord have
a
mercy.
woman found her, and y'all investigating. Well, you took a long time to investigate because she was in a morgue for 3 months and you didn't tell nobody.
Exactly. They didn't investigate nothing.
They didn't investigate anything. Y'all sat on that. That's how we feel.
They sat on it and expected for her to stay there in that morgue until it was safe to dispose of her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
consider her as a missing person.
And that's what's so crazy about it. It's like she have parents that loved her, you know what I'm saying? Still love her to this day, even though she's gone. So it's not like they were not calling. Her mom called, because my nephew, he worked, so he would call, but mama called. Mama called every day and they would tell her the same thing, that we haven't heard anything. We're looking into it. What do you mean you're looking into it? But she was in the morgue for 3 months.
Yeah, right.
How did y'all miss that? And so with this young man, it just brought back the memories of my niece. That's all I was coming up because
Yeah.
how y'all gonna say y'all investigating this young man and his
Right.
ID is gone, his wallet is gone, and I was wondering where his backpack was.
Okay. Huh.
Because it looks like when he was out there walking, he always had something with him.
Yeah.
I think they were watching him, Auntie.
Oh yeah. Well, it was established that he was being surveilled.
Wow.
At
That's
least,
crazy.
at least in terms of the campus police, they approached him and asked him for ID right there on the
Right.
spot, like he ain't no student, and he's
Right.
clear as day got Georgia State University all over his body.
Exactly.
That is so crazy.
And it's
That
just
is crazy.
ironic to me that was the last place he was seen alive.
Right.
That
Right.
campus.
And I bet you they got some cameras somewhere.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. But see, that's what law enforcement does. They don't, they drop the ball. They don't want to investigate when it come down to black folks down south. To be truthful about it.
They don't.
I'm just gonna call it what it is.
I mean, it
It's
is.
racist down there just as much as it used to be back in the day. They just have a
telling
different
you.
way of showing it.
I'm telling you, just like the twins. You remember them twin brothers?
Yes. Yes.
They didn't kill. I mean, they didn't kill themselves.
No, they didn't, but they took them all on top of a mountain. They on their way to the airport to fly to
Right.
Boston, I think it was.
Ain't that crazy?
They getting ready to get on an airplane, and out of the blue, they disappear and end up on top of a mountain.
Come on now.
Side by side.
I hate this for this young man, though. I hate that. And
Yeah.
like Lady Letitia was saying, he sounded so confident in himself. Like he, was getting a message out to other young people. Know who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
He just
Exactly.
didn't sound like he was on a suicide. I'm about to take my life.
Right.
Exactly.
Was there any notes left behind? No. If there were, they would have it by now. But
Yes.
they're not revealing anything because they want to
They're being
respect
very
the family.
dismissive.
Yeah.
It feels very dismissive. Like, even when the journalists are asking these questions, like the community is with unrest. Are you sure?
Yeah. But see, they want to paint the community as, oh, y'all gonna go this route every time.
Well,
You're doggone right, because every time this happens, you guys divert it elsewhere.
yeah, it needs to be looked into.
Yeah, Lily, you're right. He was planning, he was in college planning for his future.
Yes, he was.
Yes.
That's right, Lily.
But again, I just wish that more of our so-called leaders,
yes,
the media, black media, should be
Yes.
all over this. Roland Martin should be all over this. That other brother that's on YouTube, he should be all over this. BET
Yeah,
should be
I'm
all
gonna
over
play
this.
a clip on my page tomorrow. Just starting out. Hey, let's remember this gentleman. He was a college student, and something nefarious happened.
yes.
I do believe it.
He was hung. First they said he was tied to the tree. It was the parents, it was the family that came out and said, no, he was hung.
That's crazy.
There's a big difference between being tied to a tree and hanging from a tree.
That's right.
They try to minimize things so that'll take some of the load off of them.
And y'all remember that black young man? I think he was in Mississippi, and he was it the back of his house or somebody's house? And they tried to say, the white cops tried to say that he hung himself. And they was like, there's no way he hung himself. How he get way up there and tie a knot and hang himself?
Child, listen, they think we stupid.
Right.
Or overly emotional. Well, dadgummit, if history didn't play out the way it did, we wouldn't have reason to be overly emotional.
The Willie Lynch, I keep telling people, everybody has to read, which they tried to take them away, but the Willie Lynch letters Willie Lynch is where lynching came from in the South.
That's
And
right.
my grandmother lived in Lincoln County. That's where she was born and raised. And, my grandmother and all her side of the family are very fair skinned. But, for my mom, of course, my mom's brown skin, my daddy brown skin. So, you mix it up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't stay fair skinned. But when we would, Pulaski is the home of the KKK. And when we were little, they would have to hide us and put blankets on top of us and luggage so that the KKK didn't see us. Now, they would let my grandmama and them go by. But they would not, if it was dark child or whatever, they're going to stop and harass and do the whole thing. And so finally my grandma and them stopped going through the Pulaski way and started going through Lewisburg way to get to, which is Fayetteville, Tennessee. Lincoln County is Fayetteville, Tennessee. But, and it didn't matter. They just was racist in the South. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just been that way all my life. I mean, I remember my mom and I being on a bus, and I'm born and raised in Nashville, and I was little, and we were on the MTA bus, and of course the bus had to stop because the KKK was marching. Because back then in the 70s, the KKK marched in their hoods.
Yep.
And so they would march over the Demumbrian Bridge or march over, one of the bridges, and because there were blacks on the bus, they would have to stop, you know what I'm saying, just to make sure that we were safe while they just took their little heinies and marched through, And today's time, it's the same thing. They just not wearing the white sheet.
Exactly. And you know what? It's funny you said that. That's why my grandparents left Nashville.
Yeah.
Behind all that, they came from Nashville up here in 1962.
Ooh, wow.
61, 62. I was born in 62.
Okay.
And my father, he was stationed in Fort Lewis. And when he moved up here to be in the service and was stationed up here, my grandfather followed him first. My grandmother stayed behind to wrap up all business down there in Nashville. And then she moved up here.
Wow.
And then I came along not too long after that.
Wow.
But that's exactly why they left Nashville.
I'm telling you.
Everything that you just described. But see, the thing is that what people fail to realize is that KKK is still alive and well.
Alive and well.
That KKK, skinheads, what is the rest of them? The white nationalists is doing a little crazy stuff. All these different, the bottom line is that we've got people out there that still believe that they are superior.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And they are willing to do any and everything to keep that spot.
Well,
and as this, the longer we go mingling the races, the United States was built on the concept of being the big melting pot.
But you know what, Auntie? Me and my husband was talking about this and Lady Letitia yesterday or day before. We built everything. When I just learned about the black woman who just passed away, that she was responsible for the GPS. Now, one thing that I can say that I would love for them to do, I understand when they talk about the slavery in the school systems, because I do feel that in the South, all we ever heard about was MLK, that in our history, MLK, Rosa Parks, a little bit of Malcolm X.
Yep.
We would hear about Nikki Giovanni. We would
And
hear about
Medgar Evers.
Langston Hughes. We would hear about, some, but that's it. We never really heard about the black excellence and the blacks,
experience.
and the thing is they took it all away. You know what I'm saying? They claim credit for the things that we invented.
Yeah.
Just like, Uncle Nearest. Uncle Nearest, that's where we go back to Fayetteville, Tennessee, Lincoln County. Uncle Nearest is my grandmother's cousin. So now he's much older, of course, than my grandmama and them, because he was way back. But Uncle Nearest is who, showed Jack Daniels how to make the whiskey. So, every Black history, they talk about Uncle Nearest, but, they still tried to steal that. He's the one that showed them how to do it. And I'm glad for Jack Daniels because he came back and he put him on the front page with them and he gave him credit. But how long did it take you to give him credit?
Right.
You
Right.
know. Now you have
See,
some
an
more.
opportunity, they'll take it.
Do you have some more videos, Auntie, on that?
No.
Oh, okay. I was
No.
wondering, did they say who got his wallet or anything?
Yeah.
Nothing else was said. Nothing else was said. It's like
Wow.
we're investigating this as a unaliving. So you've already made up your mind.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've already made up your
Already.
mind.
Yeah. And made up our minds too for us.
Right.
Exactly. But that's what they do.
Crazy.
That's what they do.
That is
If you
crazy.
let them, they will take any and every look. If that movie Hidden Figures had never come out, we'd have never known about them three sisters that were part of the Apollo. What
Mm-hmm.
the Apollo to the moon? We would have never heard about that if they hadn't made that movie. Somebody stepped out on faith and made that movie. We would have never heard about that.
And the last one with Tyler Perry, that they did with the women who organized the mail. You know, that last one they just did
I didn't see that.
With Carrie Washington. Oh my goodness, I can't think of the name of it. It was right up.
I vaguely
I'm talking.
remember, but yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, like Letitia. So it was a whole black. They were part of the military. But the military men were getting depressed because the mail had gotten so behind, they were not hearing from their loved ones. The whites tried to do it, and it was such a mess that they could not organize it. So the black battalion women went in there, and I mean, they came up with a plan on how to figure out where all these military men were and where they were stationed. They came up with a plan to figure out who was who, and it is a whole big thing. And they brought the whole morale back to the military. But we're
Wow.
just now hearing about it,
Right.
and it's been out long time ago.
Oh
Yeah.
way. See,
It's a good movie.
but this is all by design. You
Yep.
know, if we don't talk about it, people will just go by the
Mhm.
wayside. You notice how stories don't stay long in the news.
Right.
Look what we went through with ICE
Oh
just a
my
few weeks
goodness.
ago. The one of the most horrendous things that have happened in this country in decades,
Yeah.
where we've got a militia of government appointed people or government hired people to carry out the intent of one crazy man.
Right.
And they're allowed to go in willy-nilly just like they were allowed to go in like the KKK
Above the law.
and go in and do whatever they felt like doing, and nothing was said back then, and very little, there's an outcry, but that didn't stop them.
No, it didn't.
No, it
It
didn't.
didn't stop them. But
No, it got worse.
now that it's done,
Yeah.
we ain't hearing about it no more.
Mm.
But they're still here.
Yeah.
They're still here. They're just not as concentrated as they were. See that thing that went down in Minnesota, that was like a trial run on let's see what works here.
Yeah.
We can incorporate it in other places. Because they right up here in Seattle, Washington. They're in a lot of blue states, mostly blue states.
Well,
See.
Georgia. Okay, I took on a case for a young lady, and they did her dirty. She was in Rome, Georgia, and Rome, Georgia, everybody knows is racist to the utmost. And long story short, she was babysitting I think that was her uncle's child. Well, long story short, somebody spanked the child, but it wasn't her. She was 17 years of age. When I tell you the way they did that baby girl, and when I called that prosecution office, because her defense attorney told me, he was like, they have Brady material, and Brady material means that the prosecution has something that can clear the witness. Well, the first thing she did was set up people that were in her family on the jurors. Now, what happened is the judge caught that. He was like, "Isn't this your brother and your cousin up here?" He said, "You can't have them as jurors on here." He said, "You know better than that." So then they had to go home, come back with another jurors. But they put that 17-year-old girl, and when I say the way they manhandled her, the police department manhandled her. Now she did, after they caused her to hurt her knee. She does have some mental challenges where she takes medication, but she was actually innocent. But the way they manhandled that child, they caused a problem with her knee to where she had to have surgery. And the way they did her, now I was able to get her probation, and the probation where she didn't even have to come in. Actually, she just had to do, her, community service, like, and then they have to pay. So her probation officer was like, "We got it set up to where you can bring things from the home, whatever that can be resold, and that's going to be how you pay."
Wow,
But
she was still
the
convicted.
way they did this child, with
Wow.
knowing, they knew that she was not guilty, but the mother was white, the child was mixed, and that white girl went up in there crying to the DA and and this and that and da 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 this and that. When they put the baby on the stand, the child was like 3. They said, "Who spanked you?" She said, "Daddy."
Wow.
But because the girl was white, they put it on the black little girl that was 17.
Wow.
And Rome, Georgia, if y'all look it up, they are racist to the core. Georgia's racist.
I don't doubt
Oh
it.
yeah, that's it. The 6888. That's it, Saturn. That's the movie, y'all. The 6 You gotta watch that. 6888. It is so good.
There's just so much going on in this country that people just don't even know about because it's so inundating. We're being bombarded with craziness every day.
Every day.
That kind of suppresses stories like this down to the bottom. But they need to come up to the top because we got somebody in office that is making this shit happen.
Yeah.
It's making these people feel comfortable in doing what they do.
Emboldened.
Sweeping it under the rug.
Yep, emboldened. They feel like they can take a life, but you reap what you sow.
Absolutely.
And if it don't hit you, it's gonna hit your generations.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear you crying when it happens to your child.
That's right.
I like that.
Yeah, it's gonna hit that. It may not hit that person, but it's definitely gonna hit his generation.
That's called a generational curse.
It's definitely coming back down the line for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And a lot of them don't get it until it happens to them. That's
absolutely. And we seen that happen with, and no shade to the Latino community. Let me put that out there. But y'all voted for that fool, and now guess who's being deported? The same person you put in office is the one that's trying to get you out of here.
And they be the main ones on that crying too.
But the cold part about it,
especially the ones that went to one of the whatever meeting rally they had, and they was talking about Latinos for Trump. And those very people, he deported their family. So I guess y'all thought y'all was gonna get away from deportation.
Oh, they thought they were white.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what they had embedded in their mind, that they thought. And I'm not trying to throw shade. That's some of the mentality. That's some of the mentality
of you to think less of the people you come from.
Exactly.
But here's the sad part about it, is that the government lied to the public and said that we have this Homeland Security Border Patrol situation set up to get rid of the worst of the worst, because they were focusing on those that were here illegally, that were causing horrendous crimes.
That was the lie.
That was the lie.
Yep.
Because what they did was they went after everybody.
Yes.
And if you happen to look like one of them, you are going to be a target.
Yeah. Anything not white.
And here's the other thing. What happened to the worst of the worst that were not Latino or not of color?
Oh, that
What
was
about the
so
worst of the
rude.
worst that are here illegally from countries like Hungary or France or the UK or Ireland or any place where they look like other white people? They're not getting rid of those illegal people.
And you know what? I watched on YouTube. It was a special. I can't remember what news station, but everybody should be able to pull it up. It was a white pastor, and they interviewed him because his church is for whites only.
What?
Yes, it's for whites only. So when the anchor, he's like, well, Jesus was a Jew, and he said Jews are not allowed in my church. And so they was like, but he was like, but Jesus
Was
is
a
a Jew.
Jew.
He was like, so are you telling me that Jesus wouldn't, if he walked through your doors right now,
Exactly.
in the flesh, he said, you're telling me that he wouldn't have been allowed? He was like, Jews are not allowed in my church. And so for the life of me, I thought, why do they think they're the most purest breed, baby? Because if you all were here first, then where did the blacks and the mix and everybody else come from? That means that y'all would have reproduced on each other. Okay.
Well, see, that just shows just how stupid they
Stupid.
are because
Stupid.
Christianity is based on who? Jesus. His name is Jesus Christ. Christianity is based off of Jesus. So you're going to say,
He said Jews could not
Christian.
come in, Auntie.
I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian and Jews can't come in here.
That's what he
Well,
said.
the religion you stand 10 toes on
Come on now.
represents a Jew.
Right. I was at a loss for words, y'all.
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
I didn't know that they had an all white church. Now I
Me
know that
either.
now under this administration they've been building these all white cities.
Mm.
But we'll see how far y'all go with that because y'all gonna need us.
Well, you know the funniest thing I remember, and y'all may not remember all this, but back when they started finding out about going back and checking people's genealogy,
Oh yeah.
doing those ancestral.com things,
Uh-huh.
and some of them old white folks down south that did one of them tests and found out that they were
That black
descendants
in
of
'em.
slaves themselves.
Come on now.
Boy, them people started having a conniption. I remember seeing this old white woman on there. She just about had a coronary stroke on camera when they told her that she was so and so percentage black. And
That's
I
the
felt
thing.
out because she had no idea. You don't even know your own history.
Come on now.
The slave masters was creeping into them
I'm
houses
creeping, baby.
at night, leaving old Faye upstairs
Mm-hmm.
all by herself
That's it.
while creeping down into slave quarters. And
That's
and
it.
and and they were so foul about it that they would rape those women right in
That's
front
right.
of their husbands.
That's
Wow.
right. That's right. That's what the Willie Lynch letters. That's what he said.
Uh-huh.
And that
Thomas
spirit,
Jefferson, Rachel Haynes.
that spirit of Willie Lynch. Willie Lynch said to take the black man and separate him from his family
Uh-huh.
because when you break up you can't leave them together because they're powerful together.
That's
So
right.
he told them to break it up and to separate the blacks and that the black women could bear children. And so if they particular partner couldn't bear children, then the black woman would be able to bear all the children that they wanted because they were strong. And they don't know that whole Willie Lynch thing. I tell y'all, it and we're still unfortunately a product of that because we do have some blacks that become racist to other blacks where they feel like I'm white or I married somebody white, and
Yeah.
so and then they try to say, oh well, of course, that judge made them put their slavery exhibits and things back up. I was
Uh-huh.
trying to explain to a young lady, we were cool, but I had to kind of put her in her place because she wanted to tell me that racist. She's from Louisiana, and I was shocked that she said it, but she was like, I just feel like, we have to get past the racism. And I said, listen,
please.
I
That's what they
said,
want you to do.
I said, it's not about all of us reliving racism. I
Right.
said, we all have experienced it. I said, but here's the thing with blacks. We do family reunions. So when we talk about great, great, great granddaddy who was a slave, and then he got his land, we are going to go back and talk about that, because that is what we do. We go back into our generations, and we can't ignore our generations.
No.
I was like, we can't ignore them at all. I said, with the fact that she was like, but blacks own slaves too. I said, let me tell you something. I said, you're absolutely right. I said, because what we found out with our family was that my granddaddy, them, when they came out of the war, my great granddaddy, so it'd been my grandmother's father, when they came out of the war, they, started working in the field. Okay, they did get their land, but what they did was they bought their family back. So they bought their family from the slave owners.
They purchased their freedom.
When you see that blacks own slaves, it's not that they owned and they got some and then they started working as slaves. They bought their freedom.
Thank you. That's not purchasing slaves. That's buying your family out of slavery.
Exactly. And so we just have all that stuff all mixed up, tied up and tangled up.
It makes me sick to my stomach how people can just turn stuff around and make the narrative benefit them.
Mm-hmm.
But
Rachel Hines is right. She said Thomas Jefferson.
Yep. Thomas Jefferson with all them high yellow kids. Yeah. All them red bones. Yeah, Tawana, my husband, he just got the Ethiopian Bible today. So yes, I hear what you're talking about, because they sure did delete a lot of stuff from the Bible.
It's crazy.
And we won't even talk about King James.
Child. I mean, you know what? I just pray. I be telling God, you know what? I can't trust another. I just, I tell God to give me spirit of discernment.
Yeah.
And in this day and age,
Good for you.
because it's so many versions of the Bible, and some of them are right, some of them is wrong, and some is wrong with all of them. But really, when you read biblically in the Bible, the Lord never used anybody perfect. No way.
Never.
He never used anybody
Never.
perfect.
He always used somebody jacked up like Moses.
Jacked up like David. You know what I'm saying? Like David, who committed murder, you know what I'm saying, and adultery. You know what I'm saying? And Moses had an anger problem.
Boy, I tell you, David was a cold piece.
David was something else.
He saw that woman. He said, I want that one. So
I
he
want that
sent her husband out there
now.
on the front line.
Come on now.
And said, okay, we're going to do away with that unnecessary dude right there, because I'm going to have you to myself.
Come on now.
Yeah.
And Peter was a cusser, and Paul was a persecutor of the saints. Paul killed the saints. Before God used him, Paul killed him. Paul was killing us. You know, so I'm just saying that, when we look at it biblically, the Lord, that's the reason why he did it. Because he's like, you remember that song, they used to sing, I'm just a nobody trying to tell somebody about
who can change everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, my grandma used to sing that for a reason.
And you know which one I used to like? Sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine.
Come on now. And then that one I gotta clean up what I done messed up.
Okay.
Start my life over again.
We're gonna have to break out Shirley Caesar in a minute.
Come on now. Come on now.
But no, for real. But honestly, the whole purpose of this live stream tonight was to bring awareness to yet another situation that looks real messed up.
Yes.
This is like a repeat. This is the repeat of the repeat of the repeat. Every time we hear about a young black man hanging from a tree, they automatically go to suicide.
Right.
And whitewash.
Did they say how high the tree was by chance?
Nope.
No.
Because I was just wondering, like, okay, so he climbed up the tree. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to
to the tree. They they didn't get the story straight. First they said he was tied to the tree. Then they had to correct it and say he was hanging from the tree. So, I mean, what was it? Was he tied, or was he? I mean, did he tie himself to the tree if he was tied to the tree? But hanging from a tree, that's a little bit harder to do without a horse or a very tall chair or a boulder of some kind, something to stand on that you can throw that thing over. Is just as ludicrous as what they said about Epstein. Epstein hung from the top bunk of a bunk.
Right. And them bunks ain't even that high. Because Epstein is tall.
And they did his autopsy. When they checked how the mark on his neck was, it was not indicative of a hanging because it would have been U-shaped. But this was straight back and around.
But you know what? You know what busted? You know what busted they lie? Because I believe he's alive. What busted the lie was when they had come out with the fact that the black people had fallen asleep, and that's how he was able to kill himself. But when they released the videos of the jail for all of them hours, when all this happened, everybody down there in that section was up and talking. It was a whole lot of police officers back and forth. So it's like y'all lied. Y'all lied. And then even that body bag was short. It was not as long as they said that Epstein was. Even his brother think he alive. But
Exactly.
they have.
You know what got me? You know what got me?
What's that?
When they took pictures of the inside of that cell and all of those orange sheets everywhere. That is not allowed, but that was staged. That was staged.
Definitely staged. And then with the Max, have you seen the Max? What's her name? Ghislaine Maxwell.
Oh yeah, I did one on her.
Did you just see the video though the other day of somebody? Where was she at? Was she in Canada? And somebody called her name and she turned, and the man next to her looked just like her brother in disguise.
What?
And they asked her, "Do you know her?" And she was like, "No, look just like her, y'all."
Well, that makes complete sense because I did a live stream last week of her deposition. If you compare that woman in that deposition against her, that's not the same woman.
That's what they said.
That's not the same woman, and it's clear from her nose.
That's what they said.
Her nose and the way her eyes, even up to the top of her ears, they do not line up the same way as her pictures do.
That's what they said.
That was not the same woman.
But when you look at, you have to go look it up, Auntie Ghislaine Maxwell, caught in Canada. And when you see it, they actually match her up. And then the man next to her, they match the brother up. That's them. That is them all the way. And
her brother.
Her brother. And Epstein, he left all his money to a girlfriend. But then he also gave a lot of money to Ghislaine, whatever her name is. He gave some to, who was it? The butler or somebody?
His pilot. He gave her the same amount of money he gave his pilot, $10 million.
Yeah.
$10 million. But he left that big 35.7 carat ring to his girlfriend 30 some odd years younger than him, plus 45 or 47 loose diamonds and all of his properties.
Now, and he adjusted his will 2 days
before he died. And here's the other thing. The press release was drafted the day before he died.
Sure was. Well, the FBI, they called the FBI's page where the date was wrong.
Yep.
So, y'all ain't telling me, y'all ain't fooling me.
Okay, so, I mean, in order for them to have a typo in the date, you would have to also have the wrong day.
Exactly.
They had the correct day and date. Okay, so, they drafted that the announcement of his death the day before he died. It was drafted the day before. Just a draft. They was getting ready. They had it all drawn up and ready to print. So when they announce it, it's already there and ready to go.
Wow.
Yep.
But it was dated, and that's where they messed up.
That's where they messed up at.
And didn't do it the day of.
Yep, that's where they messed up at. So because I was like, that man didn't kill himself. I didn't
No,
believe that when they first said it.
man, I'm like, I had my grandson stand next to his bunk bed and say, "Now, drape this, take this belt and put it
Hmm.
on, and let me see. Can you hang yourself?" He said, "Ma, no."
That's like the comedian. What's his name? He was Miss Doubtfire.
Robin Williams.
I don't believe Martin. I don't believe it. They said he put a sheet or a belt on his doorknob in his room and sat down and hung himself. How?
The body will not allow you to
Ain't
do
no
that.
doorknob that high.
No, and the body will automatically fight to survive.
Exactly.
The body is not going to allow,
Hmm.
unless you one of them freaky deakies that go in their closet and they have this little crazy, actual thing that they do where they cut their air off. That's something totally different. That's some other demonic crap. But your body will not allow you to succumb like that unless you just have no other alternative. If you can't save yourself, then you're screwed. But if you can touch the ground, that's all you got to do is touch the ground. Your body's going to kick in.
Do you think, Auntie? Do you think the cop that he had the confrontation with? Do you think he could have been behind some of this?
Anything is possible nowadays. Anything. I don't put nothing past nobody.
I was just wondering, since he gave him, since they were in a contention, he's like,
Yeah.
"Why you want my ID?" And then he comes up, deceased.
Yeah. Missing from the very place that he was accosted by the police. That was the place he was last seen alive.
I just wonder, like, where was that cop at? But we'll never know,
No. Hello, honey bunny. How are you, sweetie? So yeah, this is the world. This is the country we live in. I won't even say the world because I could at least give props to these other countries that are holding their dignitaries accountable
Yes,
for
they
what's
are.
going on with them Epstein files. For Prince Andrew to be locked up right now.
Come on now. Well,
Says-
he's out now. He out now, but he on bail. But the king said the law got to come forth.
Yeah.
The king said the law got to do what it's got to do.
That's right. But you see how that other countries are holding their people accountable.
Yes, they sure
And this
are.
very country right here is acting like it's no big deal. Because what? Because you got the orange orangutan sitting up on top of the throne, and he the main one that was in bed with. He had hoes running in and out of Mar-a-Lago. Let's tell the truth.
And over in Russia too.
Yeah, but but in terms of things going on in this country alone, Mar-a-Lago, there was trafficking going in and out of Mar-a-Lago, allegedly. Let me throw allegedly out there for you YouTube peoples. It was alleged that he had women, young girls. There's some of the things that are in those files that the people's names are all over the
Oh,
Epstein files.
I'm reading it, and I'm telling
Just
you,
your name being in there doesn't mean anything, but some of the accusations
it
against
is
that man
those files.
particular.
Those files
pretty
are
bad.
wicked. Those files are wicked, y'all.
My God, some of the things that have been alleged about him, period. Him and just him.
And don't forget about the masseuse. Remember the massage parlor right there? My brother-in-law used to live Palm Beach, and the people would complain when Trump was running for office because, and then once he became president, because they would have to shut the area down and the businesses down. But, over there, they was finding out that those women were they were doing more than massages. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. As a matter of fact, what they need to do is go over to that ranch that they've barely touched. And dig up a couple of them alleged bodies down there that
What they
of
say.
those young girls that were unalive from strangulation.
I watched the Playboy murders. Man, it's so many young ladies that came up missing and dead with the Playboy murders.
Well, Hugh Hefner's on the block right now.
Mm-mm.
Dead and gone. But he done hit the news. His widow has come out with some stuff.
Wow, I didn't know that.
and she's in some of the pictures
Oh wow.
because he had a cachet of stuff just like Epstein.
Wow.
All kinds of
Well, I
files.
knew he had a lot going on down there.
Oh
I
yeah,
knew that.
he was keeping track of the girls' menstrual cycles.
Yeah, yeah. And you would have thought that the commander in chief would have got his wife pictures offline.
You think?
As soon as I became first lady, my pictures would have come offline.
Listen, I
Y'all don't
mean
need
to
to be
tell
looking
you.
at my naked body.
But no, he glorifies in that. He glorifies in that. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna put it out on the table. I don't give that man, and Lord forgive me if I'm wrong, but I really don't give that man to last this term. I don't think he's gonna live long enough to see the term end because he's very sick. And what's very irresponsible, I know we've gotten off of topic, okay, but now that we in this, we might as well get in this. This man is doing some of the most outrageous things in history as a president. And it's the responsibility of the government to prevent that kind of thing from affecting this country. Remember when Reagan was diagnosed with Alzheimer's? You remember that?
I don't.
Back in when Reagan was president on his last term, he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And of course they kept it kind of hush hush, but to keep the sanctity of the presidency, I'll put it like that, and to protect, poor judgment decisions, that kind of thing, they stepped in and they kind of ran the country in lieu of him. He was still the face, he was the president. But back then we had a little bit more of a responsible government. Right now we have a government full of yes men that are there. First of all, they're incompetent. Second of all, they're there worried about their own jobs. Okay? Not considering that any decision that this fool makes could obliterate this country. Look where we are right now. Countries are looking at us and laughing. The United States used to be one of the most powerful countries in the world, if not the most powerful in the world. Now we're a laughing stock because we got a jackass in office who can't half talk straight.
That's so
He
true.
can't stay awake during a press conference. These are dangerous
He
things.
can't even. He can't even quote the Bible right. He said 1 Corinthians.
Child, got the
I'm
nerve to
sorry.
have a Bible drawn up
It's
in
First
his name.
Corinthians, sir. But you talking about some 1. My problem with him is he got a lot of people around him that don't like him.
They don't like him, but they like
they want him to fail.
Well, they making a bad way of going about it because they're not taking the necessary steps to protect the country. He's taking us down a rabbit hole that is going to take decades to get out of. It's not going to take just another term once he's gone. This is going to happen. He's put this country in such risk. Trying to be a Putin, trying to be the little dude from Korea. He's trying to be a dictator. And in the process, he's created the United States as a laughing stock. This man, he can't even go golfing without shitting on himself. Is that what we want representing us? No.
Auntie, they said he can't hold his bowels.
Child, I'll send you the picture.
Oh my Lord. Oh no.
He's incontinent beyond incontinence. But this is how far you see that bruise on his hand? That is from daily injections.
Yeah, he has it on both. He had it on the other hand, and it's really bad. It reminded me of the Queen. Remember, right, the days before the Queen passed?
Yeah.
She had, and she shook that young lady's hand. She had that same bruise.
Right. Well, it's been diagnosed by a couple of people online that are profession, they're in that profession, and they believe that he has frontal temporal dementia, and that is when the brain shrinks, just similar to what Bruce Willis has. And now Bruce Willis is in hospice, and
Wow.
the guy that I had on here, I did a live off of that one issue. This guy says, I give this man 4 months to live.
Oh.
I give this man 4 months to live. He also stated that these symptoms that he has been exhibiting they started back in his first term.
Well, his daddy died of Alzheimer's.
Yes, he
That's what
did.
the niece said. The niece said the
Yes.
daddy had it real bad.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be surprised, y'all. I'm not no seesayer. I'm not that. But plain and common sense. We're watching a man deteriorate before our eyes, and the government is doing nothing about it. They're letting it just go. They're letting it just go.
Yeah, they want J.D. Vance in there.
Oh my God. Well, y'all, I know I done talked your ear off about a whole lot of stuff.
It's still in the same. It's still in the same subject,
Yeah,
Auntie,
that's
because
true.
it's still racism. It's
Yeah,
still where the country is. It's still divided.
exactly.
We're still fighting to be heard.
Exactly.
That's why I just want us as Blacks to let's not give them anything to come against you with.
Right.
Just you gonna have to walk the straight line, because when people have a heart like that, they look for reasons to execute.
Uh-huh.
And if you give them one, then that's how we lose, and that's how families think about Kendrick Johnson in
Uh-huh.
Atlanta, once again Georgia.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
where they claim he fell in a mat, rolled up, and then come to find out the other autopsy said no, he didn't. He was rolled up in that mat, but he was murdered before that. And
Yeah.
that mother had her son exhumed, I think 3 times, and
Wow.
she's still fighting that to this day in Georgia. Okay, that's in Georgia at that white school.
Yeah.
And I'll make the disclaimer. I know that not all whites and other races are racist.
No,
There
they're
are
not.
some
Not
that
everybody.
have there are some that have love in their hearts.
That's
They're
right.
they're pure, because there were whites that marched with MLK.
Right.
There were whites that marched with everybody. There are whites that protest with with Rosa Parks and
Yep.
that was supporting Malcolm X. So it's
Yep.
not all white people.
Right. And
It's
they
just
laid their
yeah.
lives down too. They
Yes,
laid
they
their
laid their life.
died.
They
There was
did.
white folks that died just like in slavery. There were
Exactly.
they were abolitionists.
Yes.
Abolitionists were
Yes.
dying by the hundreds,
Yes.
hiding slaves that were running.
Yeah, because I got some white friends and I absolutely adore them, and they adore my family too.
Yeah.
And so, it's not all whites, it's just unfortunate. But this is what the Bible says. Sin is, he said that it's going to wax cold, and he said people are going to be lovers of themselves.
Lovers of themselves.
He said
Right.
children are going to be disobedient. He said mothers and daughters are going to come against each other.
That's
This
right.
is this is
The last
biblically,
days. Yeah.
this is the last days.
Yeah.
These things we're seeing it play out,
In
and
real time every
in
day.
real time, and
Yeah.
then
I was agreeing.
yeah, Marjorie Green Taylor. I'm watching that interview with her because she done totally disconnected.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you talking about big back.
And Candace Owens have too.
Yeah.
Both of them. But they broke down that Zionists. They broke down that whole thing in Kanye West.
Yeah.
There's something to that. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a lot of people that are waking up.
Yeah. Yeah. This is it's a rude awakening happening, and fortunately I mean, I won't even say fortunately, we're in a time where we can literally stand and be witnesses to what it is that we're seeing, and we have a referral to look back on. Those that believe in the Bible. If you don't believe in the Bible, then you just
Hey.
it just write it off as a bad movie if that's what you want to do. But for those of us that believe, if you
Yeah.
really want some clarity to what's going on around you, open that Bible. Open that Bible.
Yep. And it's just
It might-
sin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not even a color thing, y'all. It's the
No,
devil.
it's sin.
The
Sin is
scripture
sin.
says Satan comes to steal, kill,
Kill
and
and
destroy.
destroy. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's not even about color. It is what's in the heart of man.
Right.
And whoever killed that baby and hung him and tried to make it seem like he did suicide, that was in his heart.
Yeah.
That was in his heart.
Yeah.
You know, that was in his heart. And I really, I would love to know, Auntie. So I'm sure you're gonna follow that story to find out if they,
No.
Absolutely.
we're gonna investigate. I mean, what is gonna happen in this?
Yeah. Well, for now, there's nothing more we can do until the police start talking about what their findings are. So, because right now it's just they're being very close-lipped about everything.
Did they do an autopsy yet?
Not yet. They're
Okay.
everything's pending the autopsy.
Yeah, it's in the process.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure they're
So,
gonna do toxicology and all of that.
yes. Yes.
Toxicology take about 8 weeks though. But this is crazy though.
Yes, it is. It really is. Because it's happening. Once is enough. Once is too many. This is the second time we've addressed this very issue within the
You have.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So with all that said, y'all, I'm gonna shut this live down. I really appreciate all of you that hung tight with us and talked about this very, very important subject because it ain't gonna go away. As a matter of fact, we think a lot of things have gone away. It's just simmering below the surface. You know, just like ice is simmering below the surface. We don't hear nothing about ice doing what they were doing on the streets, but that don't mean it ain't happening.
Right.
Just because it's not in the news doesn't mean it's not happening. So we just have to keep our eyes and ears open because, you know, they want us to turn away and act like everything's cool.
Because everything is okay.
Everything, oh, well, that was just a bump in the road. No, the bumps, there ain't no bumps in the road. The whole road is full of gravel. The whole road is jacked up. Potholes and all. So I'm going to go ahead and thank every one of you guys. I'm thanking my panel, Lady Letitia and Discerning 8 for coming up here and sharing with us tonight. Everything that you guys had to say was such a high contribution to tonight's live. And, you know, I apologize for not being here for the last several nights, but you know what? It'll pick up again. I done fell out the algorithm, and that's cool.
Oh no, Auntie, you still good.
Well, you know, YouTube be tripping if you don't go live every single day. You just don't, you know, they just don't put you out there in the algorithm anymore.
Wow, that's crazy. I thought since you've been, you know, had your account for so long, you know, that it keep you in the algorithm. Oh.
People can turn on their notifications, and sometimes they don't get notifications.
That's true. Now I don't get yours a lot.
Yeah, and that's a YouTube thing. They'll
Yeah.
pull you out of the algorithm in a heartbeat if you haven't been around.
Yeah, they say shadow ban. I don't know what that means, but I've heard some YouTubers talk about they felt like they were shadow banned.
Well,
You know, when their numbers went down.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, I've been shadow banned since day one. Shoot. But the more you stay consistent,
your numbers go up. Auntie, your numbers been up lately. I've been
they
thanking
did.
God.
Well, I'm looking at 16 tonight as opposed to maybe 40, and you know.
But after you normally, like after you shut your live down and you go back, it'll be your views go up. So it's like it seems like people come back and watch it later.
They watch the replay. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm gonna tell you now. That's why I started up my slot channel. Because people love watching slots.
Yeah, I be watching you. I don't be knowing what you're doing, but
you be doing it though. You be in there saying, "Yeah, bonus."
Yeah, I mean, you say
bonus,
retrig. Listen, Auntie, I don't even know what retrig is, but you say retrig, so I'd be like, "Well, retrig."
That is so funny.
Oh
yeah,
my
I don't be
goodness.
knowing.
Well,
I'm just gonna snipe them if they talk. I just snipe the ones she tell me to snipe because they be in her pocket.
Okay. Man, them fools that be trying to tell me how to bet. I'm like, listen, we got some house rules. You gonna stay up out of my pocket and quit telling me what to bet. You ain't
Yeah,
sitting
me
me
and Barbara be cracking. Me and Barbara be cracking up in there, and Edward, that other fella. Yeah, we be cracking up because they be in there. You should bet this, and Auntie be like, "Don't tell me how to spend my money."
That's right. You better stay out of my pocket. Shoot, you come on down here and spend your money.
Right.
Mama, you sitting on a doggone phone looking at me, telling me to spend my money higher than. Are
Yes.
you crazy? You got me twisted. Donate $50 to me, and I'll do $5 bets
Right.
10
There
times.
you go.
That's why I'm getting this thing monetized, because now when I get monetized and they start doing that, okay, yes, you send me $100 and I will do
Right,
$5
that's right.
bets.
You're right. There you
I will do
go.
50. I will do $55 bets. That'll cover
Come
you.
on now.
I'll put a stop to that. And if you don't bet, if you don't send something in, then shut up. Shut up and watch.
Yeah, I be cracking up. I be cracking. I said, Auntie, getting. She be like, because you told me that last time, discern and get him. I was like, all right, I got him.
Oh, because I kept telling dude, look,
Yeah.
stop saying that. Quit saying it. He kept saying, up your bet. I said, no, I'm not changing my bet. You'll win more money if you up your bet. Fool, I know that. Stay out of my pocket.
I just
Don't tell
timed him
me how
out
to
for
spend my
24
money.
hours. We'll see if he
Man.
come back. No, he 24 hours, so he probably won't be back today.
Yep,
I
he
didn't
won't be
ban him though. I just gave him a little lesson. I just gave him a little smack on the hand.
Yeah. Well, he didn't, he wasn't that bad, but I've had him come in there and say crazier stuff than that. I've had him come in there and spell out the word Nigger. Post at a time, starting with N, then I, then G. I said,
Oh
yeah,
no.
you got to go.
Oh yeah, you got to go.
You got
and
you
never
and
return.
you and your crusty mammy.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah. But anyway, again, you guys, thank you so
All
much
right,
for
Auntie.
supporting me here and the other channel. I really appreciate you. And we'll be back again soon. I'll be back again soon. I'm gonna try to come back tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Good night, Lady Letitia.
Good night.
Anything you wanted to say before we shut
No,
down?
this was great. Thank you for inviting me. I love coming. I love it's so educational, learning from it. And I think what I want to do tomorrow is play a clip of it. And
Absolutely. I told you, you can use whatever I have. You ain't even gotta ask. Just do what you do.
And what time do you come on, Lady Letitia?
I'm in the mornings.
Mornings.
I'm like 9 o'clock.
Okay, that's why I always miss you then. Okay, well, I'll keep up because I'm subscribed to you. I just need to pay attention. Okay. Okay,
well, thank you.
Okay.
All right, y'all.
All
You guys
right,
have a
good night.
wonderful evening. God bless y'all.
Bless you.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Hey there, my kinfolk. Thanks for stopping by. Auntie Mickey's house, where we reach for the sky. Every comment and smile, you make my heart glow. Together we're strong, together we grow. From gossip to politics, we cover it all. Sharing laughs and thoughts, having a ball. Your support means everything that I know. Feels like family here in this sweet show. So let's keep it flowing, keep the love alive. Every moment together make it bright. Your support lifts me up, ooh, takes flight. No matter where you're from, near or far, you're our shining star. Just who you are. Stay tuned, stay strong, and keep the love inside. Auntie